Yeah. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our first session for Excel uh, for our weekends batch. So today we are going to learn about the from the very basic. We're going to understand this Excel application. So let's get started. Yeah. So as you can see, like already we have discussed that typically what is this particular tool, right? This is, we understand this is Excel, and over here, we typically name this particular tool as like a spreadsheet or an Excel file or anything like that. But to work on this particular tool, first of all, what we have to know, there are certain topics which we need to understand first. Okay. It's not just about you go into Google and just start searching like Excel and just click on it and you start working. No, that is not the only purpose of Excel. Like you open it and you just start copy pasting the data. I understand that till now we have done it, but we also need to understand, okay, if you click on home, can you see so many different features are there in Excel, right? So many different ways of working with the data. If you're not exploring these things, then we are at a loss. So first of all, we need to understand what are these things. Okay, the moment you open Excel, why these things are coming into picture. So if I just click on something else and all of a sudden the things goes up, right? And we are thinking, okay, what just happened? Did I do anything wrong or something? So we need to understand all this aspects of uh, these topics, and then slowly we'll be taking you to the different sections of Excel, right? So, so first of all, let's understand when we talk about Excel, we talk about a workbook, okay? And if I have to talk about a workbook, then what does that means? So if I open this particular Excel application, the very first thing comes into in front of us. If we are in home, okay, and someone has clicked on the file part, we see there is a blank workbook is in front of us, right? And then we have some blue sales report, something welcome Excel, formula tutorial, stuff like that, right? On the left hand side, we have home, new, open, info, and all this. These are the things are. Now, what is typically like anybody tells you, okay, go into this particular workbook and copy certain things, this and that, and something like that. Now, if somebody is telling you in this particular way, go to this workbook and this worksheet and this particular cell, something like a cell reference. If you're not aware of these things, then it's a problem. So this is a complete hierarchy. Okay, this is a complete hierarchy with which we understand Excel. So what is workbook? Workbook is nothing but the very first file. Any blank file which opens, it comes under the term as blank workbook. Okay, in short, workbook. So it's like a notebook. Let's call it a notebook. Inside a notebook, let's say we come under a worksheet, right? So complete interface, what you are currently looking at, this is a workbook, and the workbook's name is this one. The workbook's name is this one, Excel tutorial 7 August 25 notes, something like that. Okay, so this is, we are terming as a workbook. Inside the workbook, we have worksheets. Now, what is worksheets? Worksheets are your different pages of a notebook. Let's consider in that way. Okay, you have a notebook. Inside the notebook, these are all the pages you have, different pages. And in a different in a page, you have written something over in one page. Another page, you have written something other stuff. So like that. Okay, let's take it in that fashion. Okay, so now you have understood workbook is nothing but your notebook. Inside a notebook, you have sheets, pages, correct? So let's understand that this is also worksheet like a page. And inside a page, we have cells, right? Now, what is cell? Cell is nothing but your every individual cell boxes. Can you, when I'm clicking on, can you see a box is getting appeared? Now, what are these? These are called cells, right? These are called your cells, and based on these cells, we typically try to work on with this particular with the data or anything which is present inside this particular book. Okay, so workbook. right? First thing, application opens, a blank workbook comes into picture. It is just like a copy, like a notebook. After a notebook comes into there, you have a page. Inside a page, so for example, this is your page. Inside a page, anywhere you click on the blocks, that comes under cells. And in Excel, we typically understand and work and manipulate all our data and everything with the help of these cells only, right? You have cells. Inside a cell, we write text data, we write numbers and everything. Also, in the cells only, we also try to write a formulas as well inside. And that is how we typically deal with the data. So every cell over here holds a data which we can utilize it later on for our usage. Okay, so that's a typical hierarchy we follow. Okay, workbook, worksheet, cells. Now, uh, over here, as you can see that typically, like these cells over here have, I mean, the representation of all these things, if in front of you currently, if you look at it, are typically written as like over here, you can see A, B, C, D like that, right? What are these? These are nothing but columns. Okay, these are nothing but your columns, and over here, these are all your rows. Okay, so over here rows. So as you can see, rows, there are rows are of count of 10 lakhs, right? And your columns are something around 16,384. Now, what are these typically helps us to? So have you seen that if I press this equals to, okay, let's say I'm into this particular cell which is called as B, column B, row number 8. Okay, I'm into there. So over here, can you see there it is written B8? Can you see that? Yeah. So this is the typical representation of this particular cell representation. Now over here, if I'm pressing an equals to and try to just select anything, right? Like this. Okay. Just simply just selecting any of the things like mm, mm, mm. Okay, let me just write like this. Plus and this one. Can you see how after the equals to, what are the parameters are getting, popped up over here? I'm just selecting these two cells over here. Clicked one place, which is called as H4, and clicked and with a plus sign, I've just clicked H5. So what just happened over here? So typically, the Excel engine always understands a cell value or an operation what he has to do. It typically understands in the format of columns and rows. Okay. So H over here is your column and 4 is your fourth row, guys. H and the fourth row. First of all, I've selected that, put a plus sign. Then what I am doing, H5. I have done that. And why, like after putting an equals to, I put these two cell references and in the middle, I put a plus sign. If I press enter, what just happened? I just added these two cell references in H6 cell. Understood? I have two datas over here. Let's say, let's understand in that way. I have two numbers in H4 and H5. And in H6, I just added these two numbers with the help of an equals to sign and putting some cell references in the middle. I've just put a plus sign and that's all. We typically do that, right? We typically enter certain numbers over here. And over here, we try to do some function like this. Okay. Just adding like that. Correct? Okay. Like that. We try to add it. Or for that matter, what we do, we put equals to sign like a calculator, normal calculator. We put equals to sign. Let's say we are putting like this. Some random numbers we need to add. We are putting like this. Okay. We are writing some numbers and pressing enter. Excel, what it does, it just computes these three numbers and gives us the value. The same thing what we are doing over here is we are working in a dynamic format with the help of cell references. And that is the core understanding of Excel. Okay, Excel always works under the cell referencing format. So over here, what I have just done, it is not a hard coded number. So always understand in this way, when we are writing a number in Excel, now don't just write it in a very static number. So over here, this is very static, guys, right? Once you have written it, it will always give us this static output only. It will never change. But whereas, so suppose if I add something over here, let's say I copied this number over here, right? I copied this number, and let's say what I have done, I put an equals to sign, and I just randomly just selected, sorry, I just put a sum function. Might have heard this, you have seen this function probably. So you write SUM after an equals to sign, press tab, and you can select all these, you know, please, like all the cell values. Can you see? We will learn everything one by one. Okay, don't worry about that. I'm just showing you for an example perspective. So what I did, I put an equals to sign, put some function, selected all these this range typically starting from M3 to M8, close the bracket, press enter, and see the my numbers are just got added. That's all. Right now, what is the difference between this and this one? Over here, if I anytime if I just change the number to 7,000, right? Automatically my numbers will also get changed. See, that's the beauty of it. Okay. This is 7,000 over here again. If I put 8,000, automatically all these numbers gets added and changed automatically. Now, why over here it will not happen? Because this is static. That is why in Excel, when you write these cell references, right? What it happens is it becomes totally dynamic, right? This way of writing stuff, this way of formulas writing, this becomes very, very dynamic. And that is what you need to do in Excel. Okay, never utilize these kind of method, guys. Okay, when you're learning Excel, understanding this way, the static way of writing the formula data, entering the data, it is absolutely wrong. In future, you will not be able to, change it or something like that. Whenever you have certain formulas in place, the data points, obviously, when you create some dashboard or something like that, there will be a certain area where you'll be copy pasting certain static data, and on a certain place, like like a small box or something like that, where you need to fetch the calculation of it. So probably those areas you definitely need to write the functions, right? So, but in a calculation perspective, don't just write static numbers. Okay, so that is only for the calculators. For the person who uses Excel, always should be having a dynamic approach, writing formulas, putting cell references, and stuff like that. Okay. So what we were discussing. So as I was saying, we have 10 lakh rows of data, 10 lakh rows, I would say. So starting from row number one. So rows are always the horizontal one. Okay. And columns are the vertical ones. And Excel, whenever you're putting a formula or any cell reference, always the first part will always go for the the column, and then the row part. That is how typically Excel understands. Okay. The column and the row method. If you put both of them in one place, that means it is referring to a cell value. Okay. Now, so as I was saying, 10 lakh of rows. So let's check it out. So if I just come down, I can see that 10 lakh 48,576. That's a maximum rows you can utilize in a worksheet. So like a in a notebook or page can consist of 10 lakh rows of data, 10 lakh 48,000. That's the max. Scroll up. Let's say columns. How many columns we can have? If I go to the right, we have some XMD kind of like alphabetical representation of the column header. But the total, if you add it up, that completely comes down to like so let's say I have just all the A's over here. Okay, so I'll just add up, guys. Okay, let's typically just add it up, all the A's over here. So you can see there is a count 16,384. Yeah, so that's the maximum columns you can utilize in a worksheet. So that is why these two counts, for a general knowledge perspective, you should be understand. That's the maximum of these two parameters you can utilize. Okay. Now, going ahead, like moving forward. So as I was saying that you have the basic terms over here, which you have understood, like workbook, worksheet, cells. Then you have the row counts and everything, right? Now, moving forward, like if you want to understand that, okay, we understood that Excel typically understands this way. Now, what about the other features over here? Okay, what about the like over here? You can see an auto save. You have some save button over like a floppy icon. You have some undo redo. Okay, then you have some files insert and all these things. What are these? Right, and also in the bottom also certain things like ready and all the stuff is coming up. Might be wondering what are these? So let's start off one by one. So typically on the top, if you have to talk about this part, okay, this is the part where you are talking about the, like, the heading parts, like, over here, the auto save, okay, the saving parts and all. These are called as custom quick access toolbar. Okay, so you can customize this. This typically comes under the quick access toolbar. Okay, the name is quick access toolbar and you can customize it typically. Okay, so over here you can see the tick marks over here and all that. Why these tick marks? Probably you might be wondering. So these tick marks are here because suppose this save button, this floppy icon, right? If I just uncheck this, and you see it, that particular part was called like the auto save part, right? So I again click on this particular arrow and click on this. This auto save button will come over here. See? So what just happened? I unchecked this part and then clicked on OK and it again came back. So from here, you can manipulate typically. If I have to talk about new, if I click on it, this is new. What is new? New is nothing but if you click on it, a new workbook has opened up. What is the name? Book 1. This is a new book. So always see, whenever you open a blank workbook, it always comes as workbook 1. Okay. And typically the next time when I will try to open a workbook, it will become workbook 2. Another time if I open it, it will become workbook 3. Until unless this is like a by default nomenclature, until unless you change it, right? If you change it into a certain like specific name, it will be the same one. Okay, by default it will be like this, and it will always go to the documents and get saved. Until unless you change this particular location and the name, and that's how typically Excel works. Okay. Now, so yeah. So where were we? So we were under the quick access toolbar. Okay, that's the name of this particular the top reference of part over here. Okay, over here you have certain things which you, if you want to display like a quick, like a shortcut method, guys. Okay, quickly if you want to save something, quickly just click on it. It will be getting saved. Now until unless over here, if I uncheck this, see it is gone now. Okay, so see the undo button, everything is gone now. Okay, if I again click on them, okay, these are all coming back, right? That is how we typically utilize these features. Okay, so for our quick reference, typically, okay. So yeah, so we were the quick access toolbar is here, and on the right hand side of quick access toolbar, you have the file name over here, right? Then on the right hand side, you have a search bar, like a small search bar, which you can typically use to search quickly anything like, over here, the suggested actions are there, any feature, anything. Suppose you don't like, you probably have heard of something, but you don't know under which tab over here, probably that particular feature exists. So what you do, quickly come over here, start typing the thing the like macro, something like that. Click on it, it will come. Right. So like that. If you want to search something quickly. So that's there. Also on the very right hand side, you have a minimizing button, maximizing and closing button. Okay. That's there. Now just below the, like, I believe quick access toolbar, you have understood. Quick features to look at. Okay. The name suggested quick access toolbar. It's a toolbar. And if you want to quickly access certain features of Excel, this is the place you can enable it. It will be like over here. If I talk about new workbook, it's there. If you want to open like folder icon, if you want to quickly open something, the folder icon is also, we can attach it over here, right? Email, quick print. I mean, those which you, I mean, daily usage, which you do it quickly. If you, after any kind of working in the Excel, you want to do it, you can enable it over here. Okay, and also certain hiding it or unhiding it, those kind of features are also available. So yeah, that is your quick access toolbar. Now, coming to this particular part, okay, the most utilized section of Excel, like over here, every tab is giving you another detailed, features of Excel. Okay, probably right now you don't know it, but I believe that by the end of this course, probably you will have good understanding. Okay, what is what. I mean, if I have to talk about merging something or conditional formatting, you will not, get confused. Okay, where will I get the conditional formatting part and all that, right? If I have to talk about formulas, already you can click on, like, you can see the formula, right? So like that. So yeah. So now what is this particular section altogether, which is already existing over here? So this particular section, if I just right click on it, what is this called? Talks about customize the ribbon. So that means this is the ribbon part. Okay. Ribbon section of Excel. It's like ribbon. Why ribbon typically? So if I click on this collapse, see the ribbon has been collapsed. So that's how they have named it. Customize the ribbon part. Right click on it, uncheck the collapse ribbon. Again, it gets up. So what was the benefit of that customizing part? If you click on it, what happens? It is not there. Like, your view of Excel becomes little bigger because that drop down features of all the tabs over here got reduced. Again, you right click on it. Like, if you want to utilize, you click on it, it's there. Again, you come back, it will, it goes up. Okay. That's how this particular thing works. Right click on it. See, collapse button is gone now. So that is how typically it works. It just helps you to have a better view of the Excel file. So over here, this is the ribbon part as I was talking about. Under the ribbon part, you have all these features still over here. Home, insert, draw, page layout, formulas, all these things are there. Each and every ribbon sections is giving you a detailed view of all the features it holds inside it. Okay. So that's your ribbon section, guys. Another important part in this particular layout of a workbook. So over here, you can talk about this one. So what is this? This is nothing but your name box. Okay. Okay. Just hover your mouse. The pop-up, there is a small pop-up is coming up, name box. Now, what is this? This is a very handy section, which anytime, see, I'm just changing the cell value. See, cell references I'm changing. Okay. Currently, I'm at B8. See, exactly B8. If I change it to E10, see E10. Anytime I am at any given cell value, as I was talking about cells, the hierarchy, it will always give you the cell value over here. And I will also teach you with this how you can, navigate any cell values and stuff like that. Okay, certain places, suppose, let's say, uh, mm, 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 uh, yeah. So let's say I have selected this particular range. Okay, I've selected this range. Typically, what happens if I select any of the cell values, it will be giving you like the alphabetic like columns and the row reference method, right? The representation as I was talking about, the columns first and then the row number. That's how typically Excel understands, right? Now, if I select this whole place, can you see what it is written? ABC. So this is the place, this name box gives you the power to name any places in Excel, like a certain range. So this is a certain range. It range consists of one, two, like two columns and four rows. Okay. So if I select this one place, I can get ABC. Like that, you can customize the name of a range as well. What is the benefit of it? We'll learn it in future. Okay. Exactly like this way. See, over here, I'm selecting any one place or a range I'm selecting. It's still showing as D1 only. Why? Because this particular range is not named yet. Not named yet. But if I want, suppose if I want to name this, let's say like my name. Let's say I'm just changing it to my name, putting it over here. See, now the moment I select this, it always goes back to my name. Anything lesser than that, it will give you a cell value. I mean, the cell reference. Okay, the first cell reference, D1. But the moment I select the whole range, always it goes back to my full name, not the D1, guys. Now, with my name, I'm just, you know, like trying to communicate that this whole range has been named to a certain place. Yeah, Yanni, go ahead.
What exactly is the benefit of naming a range? How does it basically help?
Great question. So the moment you are naming it over here, let's say I want to, let's say I'm just trying to build a report. Okay. Okay. And over here, I just pasted something. Yeah. Electronic something like that. And I want to like, just write a formula over. Let's say I'm just showing you, just might have seen VLOOKUP and all these things, right? I just selected like this, comma, 2 and 0. Exact match. Earlier, if this particular part, this Kunal part over here, currently you are looking at, earlier what used to happen, you have to pass a cell range over here. Have you written VLOOKUP here? Like,
Yeah, I have used
yeah,
it. So basically, when it's a very large data set range, you will
exactly.
have to select everything and
Correct.
then put it there. Otherwise, you can just name it as Kunal and then
Exactly,
got
exactly.
it.
So
Got
what
it. Got
happens
it.
is it will help you to remove the confusion of it. I mean, you have multiple columns, right? And if you just select it with a certain range and just name it up, like Kunal 1, Kunal 2, Kunal 3, it will be really helping us with the table name nomenclature. That is why
Got it.
I told you, if you select certain range and name it up, it will be really helpful for you to reference it out in a later phases. So that is why I showed you this way.
Got it. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. So this is how typically this thing will work. I'll show you in our future classes what's the benefit of this thing. But let's now, right now, let's stay with the very basics of it so that, I mean, we are over with the whole, I mean, the interface understanding. Yeah. So name box, you have seen, it's a very small thing, but very powerful. Helps you to understand where am I currently, right? Any place you click on it, this is the place you have to go for. Now, scrolling to the right, okay, you can see there is the formula bar. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of it? Any place of the cell value over here, you're writing anything. This is the place you will be writing. Okay. This is the place typically will you will be writing anything. And over here, this is the place you can manipulate it. This currently you are looking at very small. You can actually increase it to this much, the complete way you can write it. This is the complete length of your form. I mean, this is the complete view or the space you can utilize for any cell. You, as I told you, this is the hierarchy, right? Workbook, worksheet, cells. So any cell can consist of this much of data. You can write this much of data. Okay, right. So why this much of space has been given to you? So imagine in a cell when you're creating a dashboard or anything like that. Probably you might be wondering that, okay, I need to write some formula and you need to, I mean, I mean, alignment, you need to, design the formula in such a way, like, loops, interloops and like that. So how will you write it? So this is where the whole spacing method and everything you can utilize the space over here and design your formula accordingly so that anybody looks at it, understands it. Otherwise, when you write a complex formula, it will be like all lines one by one, one by one. The moment you drop down, like, clicks that enlarges anybody, it will be all lines, 4 or 5 lines of code. But if you just, break the formula in certain ways, like, complete alignment wise, it will really look better. Also will help anybody to understand the code better, right? So that's the beauty of this particular layout. And also, as I mentioned, anything goes in a particular cell always gets captured over here. From here, you can manipulate it, you can see it. Okay, everything, comes into picture from here, right? So, yeah. So name box, formula formula bar we have discussed. Also, as I mentioned, the headers are columns. These parts on the left hand side are your rows. Bottom, you have the worksheets. As I was saying, workbook, like a notebook. Worksheet is like an individual page. And with this, like toggling all these pages, okay, or for that matter, you have a plus button over here, new sheet. If you want to increase a sheet, you can do that. Okay. And also, for your information, you can at max create 255 sheets in a workbook, right? 255 is the maximum sheets you can, increase the sheet numbers. And after that, it will not happen. So that's the brief understanding of this particular part. Right click on it. You have more sections to manipulate it. If you want to insert a page, you can do that. If you want to delete something, click on it. A pop-up will come up that do you want to really do that? That's also there. If you want to rename this particular name, over here I have written basic introduction. If you want to rename it, you can do that as well. Moving or copying, very important part, right? But suppose you have done some calculation or some data copy pasting, you have done it in this particular workbook. Now all of a sudden you think that, okay, I need to move this particular data to a brand new workbook, right? I need to move this worksheets data to a brand new workbook without without deleting the actual data over here. How can I do that? Click on this create a copy. Already the book where you are currently at, there is a drop down. All the sheets are in front of you, right? Now you're only interested on the basic introduction wala part, right? Basic introduction sheet, you are interested on that. What you want to do? You want to copy it into a new book. Click on new book. See, there is no worksheets there in a new book, right? So already we have a workbook called Excel tutorial, right? We are working in. From here, I'm migrating it, this particular worksheet to a new workbook. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a copy so that the actual data doesn't get disturbed, but it will help me to copy the data to new one. This is the procedure, right? From the existing one, click on create a copy, drop down, new workbook, click on OK and see here the data has been copied to a brand new workbook without without disturbing the actual file or the actual worksheet. Very, very handy feature, guys. Lot many times when you have, suppose you have done a calculation in a particular worksheet and without disturbing this particular sheet, you have to migrate the data to a brand new worksheet for any certain reason, for any reporting purposes or anything. This is the method you need to follow. Okay. This way, your actual data will not get disturbed, but also you can create a copy of that data. But mind you, the moment you're copying this data from an existing one to another new one, always after, let's say this particular sheet is containing all formulas and stuff like that. After migrating into a new sheet, always make the formulas and everything make as static. Okay, what I mean by static, typically, selecting the whole range like this, copying, okay, and pasting them as values and numbers format. That's all. Sorry, values only. Now, what will happen over here with the calculation, done on the previous sheet over here. So let's say this particular sheet is already consisting of formulas and everything. You have copy pasted into a brand new thing. But if you are going to share this file to somebody else, probably that person might be getting some errors in his file because the formulas are in your system, right? The formulas in the formula setup, it's in your system. The other person who is going to receive that particular file, probably he doesn't have all those backend data with him, right? So that is why it might create a formula errors to him. Instead of that, what you can do, just copy paste all this. Also over here, can you see this A1 place? There is a blank space over here. Just click on this. By clicking on this area, you're actually selecting the whole worksheet, guys, and you can do anything with it. Okay, so like best practice, I would say copy, go to paste part, and click on this values. There is also a shortcut which we will learn later on. So very, very handy feature also. Right. So yeah. So that's how typically we copy paste the data from a worksheet. Okay. The next thing, moving or copying, we have done few code. If you are talking about any macro code has been written, and then protecting worksheets, typically, if you want to protect any worksheet, you put a password over here, right? Like let's say 123, you put over here, and you're what are the features you're trying to enable with the password? Allow all users of worksheet to select locked cells, select unlocked cells. It's typically like that. So protecting the worksheet with this, if you click on OK, what will happen? You have to put that password until like unless you put that exact password, it will not open, right? So that's the features we have over here. Coloring any of the tab colors. Typically, let's say I'm coloring this thing. What will happen? This will get colored like this. What's the benefit of it? Let's say you are working on multiple sheets and you need to validate or check. I mean, couple of sheets like worksheets over here in a workbook, and like just for a reference perspective, you're coloring it or anything, just any kind of usage you can think of, this coloring method can help. I'm just giving you an example for that. Okay, so yeah, tab coloring is there for you. Hiding it, very interesting feature. Unhiding it, like if I clicked on unhide, then only if it is hidden, then only it will come. Right click on it. If you don't have anything to unhide, then it will, this is fake. Until unless it is something is hidden, then only this unhide button will come. Okay, the moment you right click on any worksheet, right? Click on it, this will show, and you can unhide it easily, right? Okay. And then if you want to navigate, right, quickly you want to navigate. So what I'm doing over here, so to navigating the worksheet, you can click like this one by one, right? You can click on this particular part over here. Okay. Just to see, okay, how we can navigate, we can create new worksheets. Also, there is an arrow button over here. Can you see? This arrow button actually helps you to navigate the worksheets. Okay. And suppose if you want to directly have a glance, want to look at the complete list of worksheets over here, what you do, right click over here, right click in the middle of it, and you can see the complete list of all the worksheets in the workbook. Okay. Out of anything, just click on any of them, click on OK, directly it will jump to that particular worksheet. Okay. Directly it jumps to that particular worksheet. Again, if you want to go back, click on that worksheet which you are interested in, click on OK, it comes back to its position. Okay. Right hand side, you have a scroll bar over here. So let's say when you work on, you have like already consumed this particular view of the data and certain things are already on the right hand side. You need to click on this particular, you need to first of all scroll it. And then if you want to see any kind of extra data on the right hand side, you need to click on this bar and it'll help you to navigate. Yeah, so tell me.
Kunal, you see that you colored the worksheet, right, under the
Yeah,
workbook,
yeah, yeah.
the single worksheet. So, can we color the entire worksheets at once, or we should do manually every worksheet to color?
I mean, it's up to you that how, like, if you want to color it or not. I mean, right click on it and you can just click on any of them according to your requirement. So,
Uh,
like that, you can do it. Yeah.
I mean, like, you see, you have plenty of worksheets under your like workbook, right?
Okay, okay, okay.
So, if I want to color, can I
Uh-huh.
color it entire
Like
at
this.
once only?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
How I did it, I just show you. So, click. So, after clicking one of them, press Control,
Hmm.
start clicking all the multiple sheets you want to color them. Okay. I'm pressing Control, right? Okay.
Okay.
Simultaneously pressing the Control button in your keyboard, you need to select one by one. Right click, tab color, click on green, and all the sheets have been colored. Okay.
Okay. Yes.
So that's the that's the way typically these features you can utilize according to your wish. And yeah, and then on the right extreme end, we have the status bar. Status bar is nothing but comprising of the status of this particular worksheet, which is currently in ready mode. So what this particular uh, very at the very corner over here typically means about sometimes what happens, the Excel is busy calculating certain stuff, right? So this particular status tells us that it's in seconds. I mean, it doesn't take much. Whenever there is a calculation, heavy calculation going on or something, this particular status will be something else, but quickly changes to ready the moment the Excel engine is ready to work upon new data and all. Okay. On the right hand side, small, you have a small tab, okay, which is no macros currently record. So this is a recording button typically. Okay. When you work on macros or something, so there is a feature in macros where you can record the steps, the manual steps, what you are doing with the help of this button. Now, if I click on this, see, it is telling record macro name. It was asking me to put any name to the macro. Typically, macro is nothing but the manual steps, what you're currently doing. It will record every clicks, every space, everything, every data, what I'm entering, everything will get recorded. And automatically in the backend, it will be getting converted to the macro code. That's the beauty of this particular feature. Okay.
Can you just show it again, Kunal? Which part is recording macros?
Okay. So over here, can you see there is a small button over here just beside ready? This part.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you click on this button, this pop-up window comes up. You can also visit this. You can also have it in developer section over here, the record macro feature over here as well. Okay. Under the developer section. So, okay, developer section typically will not be able to see it. Okay. In your Excel application, this will not be like already visible. You need to enable it. Also, if you are in view, can you like, do you have the view part, Suman? Is it Suman or Nihar? Hello?
I'll have to check. Mine is a Mac thing. I'll just check.
Oh, okay, okay. So typically what happens, the like the Windows version, typically, the view section will have the macros over here, view macros or record macros over here. Okay, either you can fetch it from here over here or from view as well. Okay, so the moment you click on this particular part, it asks you to name that particular part. The moment that is done, and also you need to, I mean, mention that where you want to store. So for now, let's say you are storing it into this particular workbook. Okay, and you are okay with it, you save it, everything, and automatically it will become a box. Okay, well, let me show you macro one demo. So macro one demo. Okay, this workbook demo. Okay, you named everything and okay. Click on OK. See, now it becomes a box over here. That means a macro is currently recording. So any steps, okay, I put it like that. Okay. Okay. I come over here, stop it. Now see where this macro is. View macros. Macro one demo has been already created. Okay. Now I'll show you what's the beauty of this. I've deleted this. I just copied and pasted over here. Okay, the formula. Let me quickly run this macro over here for you. View macros, run it. I'm just running it. See, the manual step, what I have just done, copying and pasting it over here, that has been automatically done and captured over here. Let me show you what are the codes which has been written over here. See, at the back end, Excel has automatically written the codes, okay, for me, and it has stored it over here. This way, also, we can record the manual steps what we're doing. But be very careful. You have to be very careful about where you're clicking. So lot of garbage selections also gets placed over here. So that's also things which we need to take care of. Yeah. So that's the macro section for you guys. On the very right hand side, you have the normal layout of the Excel view, what you're currently looking at. If you want to change the view to a page layout, this is typically helpful for any sort of printing. If you are interested in, okay, if you have to print something and all that, so you have the headers, footers also. So over here, if you mention the headers like basic intro, also press enter. So the footer part typically would say like page 1, right? Press enter, that's outside. So see, this view has been already created. And if you need any more understanding of it, like if you go for a printing, see, this is the header and the footer for you, right? So after this, you can print this out also. And typically this will help you to, mention that, okay, what is this page is all about? What is this page number and everything, it will come into picture. Now from here, again, you come back to the normal view. See, again, it is like your normal, but it will be segregated by this dotted line over here. Okay. This dotted line will try to help you that, okay, this is the first layout of this particular page. I mean, in a printing A4 size page, this is the, breakup will come into picture. Also, you have another page breakup preview, exactly like how much a page 1 will look like typically for your printing and methods and all that. So let's come back to normal form, and also the zoom in, zoom out, feature for you. Currently, I'm at 200% zoomed in. Okay. So if you just zoom out a little bit to the normal one, typically the numbers will look little smaller than the normal view. That's the difference of this thing. Okay. Any question, guys, as of now? Anything? I'm just taking you through the basic stuff as of now and give you a basic understanding and all that. Any doubts?
Okay.
Anything? Okay. Okay. Moving on, just a quick understanding that typically this Excel application was first was done for the Apple Macintosh, guys. Okay, it was done for the Apple Macintosh in September 30, 1985. Okay, but later on, it was, I mean, the Windows. I mean, you know, it was all Bill Gates have already, developed it and launched it for Windows as well in 1987. Okay, but November 1987, the first version of Excel was introduced for Windows, and after that, there is no looking behind it. I mean, you can see over here, there's so many versions have been already been deployed. The earlier versions from 97 to 2000, it used to be like .xls, and after that, it started off with .xlsx, XLSX. Also, currently, any file, if you look at it, will not be able to get that particular file format over here. But you can see this one, Microsoft Excel 97 to 2003. This is typically the older version, guys. The older version, what I was talking about. So, guys, let me tell you that the older version. So, what happens is versioning of Excel is very, very important. Why is that? Any older version of Excel which doesn't have the features currently. So currently what you're looking at, if I have to show you, I am at the I am at the 2021 Windows Office version of Excel, right? And this is the licensed version for home office and everything. And till 2021, whatever features have been launched in Excel, all are present over here. Now, anything which was not there. So suppose what happens during our work and all, we get a lot of different versions of Excel file, right? The moment you get a 97 to 2003 version of an Excel file, what happens is those particular files will not get the latest features of Excel what you are currently working. So what I mean by that, anybody, if you open a 97 2003 file over there, you will not get the XLOOKUP over there. Lot of different features which you are currently looking at in front of you will not be present over there. So always try to go ahead with the latest versioning, guys. And after 2010 and 7 and 10, like it is keep on going with this only .xlsx file. There's no change in that. Only if there is a macro enabled file, it will be xlsm. Okay, it will be like x.xlsm. That's the only difference. So what I told you about the versioning, if this is XLSX, understand this is the older version of Excel file. Lot of different features will not be present. What suppose anybody has worked on a latest one. So suppose if anybody has worked on like with the XLOOKUP or something like that, suddenly that file has to be sent to a 97 or 2003 formatted Excel application, that particular formula will not be, showing the formula correctly. It will be throwing some error or something like that. Okay. So try to work on a latest version of Excel version in your system. It will really helpful. Also, another quick format check I will try to give you. Guys, have you heard of this comma separated value file? Has anybody heard of this thing? CSV file we talk about. CSV. Anyone? It's okay. I mean, can be wrong or something like that. Anything, whatever comes in your mind, just tell me.
No, Kunal.
Okay. So typically, what is the comma separated value? It is nothing but the data representation of your raw data into comma separated manner. Now, what I mean by that, if I want to have a review is not visible, right? Okay, fine. So if I just open this particular file, okay, click on it. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll just copy this.
Do CSV files also support formulas and all, or do they not?
Good question. Very good question. Very good question. I'm just about to show you that as well. Just a minute. Copy, paste. Okay. And now double click. Okay. So this is, we have all the worksheets, guys. All so much of worksheets and everything. We have it over here. I just made a copy of it. Now just see what happens. Save as first class, and over here, see, save as type Excel workbook. From here, I'm changing it to CSV UTF-8, comma delimited. Okay. I'm just saving it off. I'm saying that, yeah, you just replace it off and okay, fine. See, the selected file type does not support workbooks that contain multiple sheets. To save only, active click on OK, and it will support like that. Click on OK. Okay. Now close it. Save it off. Now there's a, comma separated value file has been created. Doc XLS like that. Okay. Format is now CSV. You see, type has been converted to CSV. It is not an XLX anymore. Okay. I double click on it. See what just happened. Out of all those sheets, right? This particular file have so many multiple of worksheets. Inside the workbook, you have so many worksheets. Now what just happened? It just deleted all the sheets, all the data over there, and it is normally just giving you just understanding of the raw data. No format, no formulas, nothing over here. Just plain simple data. Then that is your CSV file. In a CSV file, you cannot accommodate multiple worksheets. It doesn't support any formulas, color coding, conditional formatting. No, nothing like that. Only plain raw data. And that is
So
why,
basically, data
yeah,
heavy worksheets can be where without any formats or without any
exactly,
formulas are
exactly.
used for CSV.
Correct, correct, correct. That is why you will see anywhere you download a file, always see it will be getting downloaded into CSV file, right? Whenever you're downloading any data from a server or something, by default, it comes
Yeah.
to you as a CSV. After, like if you now you open this CSV file in Excel, it will normally open the file in Excel application. No problem with that. But to store, like to download all this copied format, like a raw data, always the systems prefer CSV because it is the lightest version. So let me give you a brief understanding. This copy version, this is 38 KB. I just created a copy of the file of this Excel notes, correct? This was an Excel file. See, this is 38 KB. The moment it is converted to a CSV, comma separated values, it has become 1 KB data. Just 1 KB. So that is why it is very, very important that this particular file format is not supporting any formatting of the Excel. It doesn't support multiple worksheets formats, anything, color codings. Just forget it. It just simply plain simple. It just captures the data in its data with a comma separation format, and that is all. That is why you have to be very careful. If you're converting an Excel file to a CSV, it will by default remove all the multiple worksheets and only consider one single data, that also without any formattings, all color codings, this bold and all these methods and everything. Forget about anything. Only raw, plain, simple data it will capture. Okay, that's why it's most preferred to work on this format. I mean, anywhere you go to Kaggle or any kind of online, when you download a data, always by default it is the CSV format. It will let you download because it's the lightest version it can store. Right?
If
Less
we
space.
go the
Yeah.
other way around, let's say we download
Hmm.
a CSV file and then save it as an XLSS, then
Ah,
can we then normally use all the formulas and all the features of
exactly.
XLSS on
Yeah,
that
yeah,
file?
yeah, yeah. Exactly. You can do that. No problem with that. But you have to, first of all, you have to open. So let me show you. Uh,
Same one we can open, no? The
yeah,
CSV
yeah,
file.
yeah. Just a minute. Mm, let's say, yeah. See, I have downloaded this file formats from a site and all. See, all the formats are in comma separated values. Can you see? All the data are in KBs. But actually, when you look at it, so let me customers, products, sales, sales. Okay, let's say this is returns data. Okay, let me show you the returns data. It is 7,000 rows of data, guys. But what's the file size? It is in 138 KB. The moment I convert this into Excel workbook format, okay, just converting, saving it off. Okay, let's see what it happens. See, slight jump in the data set, right? 163. Because as of now, this sheet doesn't consist of any formulas, any color code, any formatting. That is why Excel engine's difference with CSV format, what is it? Excel tries to memorize all your color codings formats and everything. It has to store, right? It has to store this color code and this basic introduction sheet. It has to store it in green color. Over here, if you made this header and as bold, it will remember that also. So in the backend engine, it is already capturing all your steps, what you are currently working on it. So that is why slowly it is taking up more and more space, and where it is reflecting on the file size. So that is why the moment you create formulas, write formulas in an Excel file and all, it becomes really heavy. Correct. So that's the difference. See over here, this is a transaction data. This is already 2.9 MB. This is 6.6 MB data, right? Let me just convert this into, this is CSV. Let me just copy paste it over here. Okay, open it, file, save as, transaction, change it to, sorry, workbook. Okay, Excel file. Save it off, close it. See, so it is comma 7. Okay, there's a slight drop in the data size, but the moment you start adding certain formulas or something like that, it will become more like, starts, bigger in size. So that's the like basic idea I wanted to give you. Okay. So yeah, that's the basic, understanding I wanted to give you for today. Okay. So any question, guys, as of now? I believe like, so today is the first session for all of us. So any questions, guys?
No, Kunal.
No, I'm done.
Okay. 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 Okay, guys. So I believe we are. I mean, 12:30 is the time. So let's, I think, wrap up for today at this point of time. Yeah. So let's continue again from next Saturday, again, at the same time, from 11 a.m. Think can wrap up the session for today. Is it
Sure.
fine?
Yes.
We will be getting the recordings of the sessions, right?
Yes, absolutely. All the
And
sessions, recordings, and the class notes, what I'm discussing on after the class itself, I'll be delivering it over the WhatsApp group we have created. Okay. So that you can directly reference the class recording with the material.
So
sure,
Kunal, next
thanks.
Saturday, any different link we are need to join?
Probably I'll share you proper link with you. I'm
Yeah,
not sure that what went wrong for today. So we have to manage with the demo link only. But I'll make sure that next classes will have a like that separate link will be continuing it throughout all our classes.
yeah,
Same link
that,
will be utilizing for every classes. Okay.
yeah, that would be great.
Yeah.
Okay, Kunal,
So
thank you.
fine, everyone. Thank you for your time. Okay. Let's meet up next Saturday. Yeah. Thank you, everyone.